She's married. She's there with her husband. She has 2 children. The second one, the first one is less than the time you thought that way.
Of course, so many times I would come back from school, get into the wardrobe and sit down there and start crying. So asking me who actually sent me to this country. I was doing well back in my home country, but I can never regret the first time.
Finally, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blessing and you're welcome to Blessing Inside. So today with me, I've not said Happy New Year to you guys, so Happy New Year by the way, and it's so good to have you back. If you're new on this channel, please join the Blessed family, subscribe, like and share, comment on this topic. This is just a random chat with my OG. If you know, you know this lady here right from day one. In fact, we have so many juicy gist to come in between this whole, YouTube video. Just pay attention, stay with us, and you'll have 1 or 2 nuggets of life in relationship, immigration, a lot of nuggets to pick up from this content. So you're welcome, and thank you for joining us again. So let me introduce my guest properly. So this is my baby girl, my sister.
Hello,
from
guys.
Way back 2015. Was that when we first met? Let me just tell you the obvious about my guest, Blessing Magical. She's an extraordinary woman, a passionate social worker, a blessed wife, an extraordinary mom, a great friend, and a great daughter. 16. We met in one of our classes in at Macquarie. I think that was
International Business Management.
okay. So the first time, in fact, I met her before I met her, because when I first entered the class and I met other people, the lecturer called Blessing, and the lecturer said, "Oh, I know of another Blessing." And you guys, do you know there's another person there? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then she said, "Blessing, I think you both should be are you from Nigeria?" I said, "Yes." I was at peace that I can't wait to meet that my namesake. That is even studying the course I was studying, coming from the same country. That moment, it immediately made me feel like I wasn't alone, because I was in the midst of other international migrants. I was like the only black student at that point. Knowing that there's another African student from Nigeria again, like bearing my name, that just lifted my spirit. And when we first met, we connected instantly.
That's correct.
Like we met each other, and then I found that she's married. She's there with her husband. She has 2 children. The second one, the first one is less than 2 years, and Uma was also less than 6 months. And I was like, hey, it's even like me, I don't even have all of those responsibilities, and I'm feeling overwhelmed already. But that really made me know that I wasn't alone. So let me just start with asking a random question. What was the first thing you thought about me when you first met me too?
Blessing, I could remember vividly when I came to Australia. I could remember going into Macquarie. I could not understand what people were saying. It was bizarre. Like, we speak English in Nigeria, but when you come to the Western culture or country, you find out that their the speed is different. And you really need to listen very well to understand what they were saying. So that was my first challenge, I would guess. But when I met Blessing, I think you told me I should listen to news. Yeah. That was one thing. I was like, okay, let's start from there. So I think she was a support system for me. The time is too short for me to elaborate on how we benefited from each other. Starting from helping me navigate the classwork system, that you have to get your resources from the internet. You need to do this, you need to do that, how to meet up with your assignments and all that. It was really overwhelming for me, because back in Nigeria, the educational system is paper.
Totally different.
Yeah, so it was different. You need to log on to the portal, get your resources, the library. So Blessing was like a support system for me throughout the journey. I could remember that when we had to do presentation, unfortunately, or I wouldn't say unfortunately, fortunately, I had to go with my 2 kids to school, and literally we took turns. So when Blessing had to present, I would hold the kids, she would go and do her presentation, and then when it's my turn, she would help me mind my kids outside while I go to do presentation. So that was how supportive she was to me. where do I even start? It's
the
just
library
it's the
tour that
li-
we'll
I
leave home,
know.
and then no, it was really good. And she was staying closer to school, so I remember some night that I want to study late at night at library. I'll go spend the night in our house because we'll leave the library around 11 or 12, and then I just need to walk all the way to our place because I was staying very far away from campus, and that for me was really something that was helpful. Our kids are so lovely. Like I know that I had kids before I even started having kids. So it was, and talk about a husband. Like when I met your husband, you know what resonated with me was, where will you find a supportive man like that, especially in a country, because we've seen a lot of cases of couples coming in and in less than 6 months they've gone their separate ways because maybe they're trying to find a balance, but we'll come down to that later. But the fact that your husband would tell you, babe, you're supposed to study, focus on the study, the kids, God sent helpers. I was not even just like, you just were miraculously helped. You had people that would come at your beck and call. And I know it wasn't easy because even as a migrant, being single, I know the journey was hard. So much more having a partner that is understanding. No, I give it to him. Bros. I salute.
Hi, bros.
It means a lot when you see couples come into a strange land and they don't let the environment ruin what they have. And running that relationship with kids even make the equation harder. But you guys were not. Can you tell the people like 2 or 3 things that kept you going? Because I know of all the old downtime. Not all of them, but most of, because you wouldn't even share when he's down. You will still smile. That's one thing about her. No matter how tough it is, she will still smile. Hey, blessing will be okay. It's just a face. In fact, sometimes I hear after the whole thing has been overcome, that's when I hear the struggle. I give that to you because what were the 3 things that kept you going in that phase of, maybe we made a mistake, we shouldn't have been here? Was there ever a time you thought that way? Of
course, so many times. I would come back from school, get into the wardrobe and sit down there and start crying. Start asking me, who actually sent me to this country? I was doing well back in my home country, but I can never replay. The first and most important thing that kept us going was God. The grace of God, the love of God, just the reassurance and our faith community that you just keep being reminded that God is with you all through the journey. So that was my first and most important rock. The second would be my husband. Without him, I can't even. I can't even be here.
Excellency, presidency, we salute you, sir.
I can't even what do you call it? I can't take glory enough for that, because I could remember most times we do exchange kids at the train station. Like,
they didn't even have 2 cars.
I know.
I think it took a while before Obi even got a car. It took a while.
That's correct.
Imagine commuting with train and they were working, paying their school fees full. No. Don't let's go to the details.
No.
I give it to Odogu. Don't let's go into the details. Because the sacrifice was on both sides. But there was never, okay, we'll come back to that. We're talking about marriage, 100 and or 50-50. We'll come back to that. But I know that he deserves all the credit to get. Correct. And he's still doing a great work even now.
There, yes. And the third thing would be having a positive mindset, which is really important, because if you come to this part of the country, there are so many things to depress you. There are so many things that would discourage you. However, having that positive mindset that last, I will get to the end.
You go there all right.
You go there all right. You go balance last.
Like my slogan, it is well, even in the well.
Inside the well. The road might be so rough, so unpredictable, so sad. But if you have your focus, at the end of the day, this is what I want to achieve. Keep your eyes there.
On the prize.
On the prize, exactly. Keep a positive mindset, no matter what. Unless I don't have blood and life in me again, that's where I give up. But so far as there is life in me, I will keep doing my best. I will keep trying my best. You would get there. I promise you. You would get there. So that has been the 3 things that has kept me going.
God, supportive partner, and positive mindset.
That's it.
Yeah, I think those three things, not just for immigration, but in life generally, having those three things as a person, individual, be it male or female, I think it would help you to scale through any hurdle that you might face. That's to tell you that the hurdle will be there.
Of course.
It's non-negotiable.
Anybody that tells you it's not there, the person is not telling you.
He's lying, right?
Like, there's so many shocks. There's food shock, there's culture shock, there's health shock, there's technology shock. There's a lot of shocks.
A lot of shock,
so, it will be a challenge, but don't just stop there. Keep going.
Keep going.
That's the thing. Just keep going. You will definitely someday, somehow,
you make
get
it
there.
Okay, so now my next question would be on relationship and marriage back home. I know you've been married for years in Nigeria, even before you came to Australia. But I know that if your marriage, I could assume that if your marriage didn't have a good foundation back home, I guess you might not have even weathered the storm, or probably it would have made you guys closer, who knows. But when it comes to marriage in Australia or in the diaspora generally, what do you think do you think it's more problematic for couples in the diaspora than back home?
I guess it all depends. All right, coming to the Western world or diaspora as you use, the both couple have to be open-minded, be able to communicate, be able to sacrifice. You can't make it if you have the same mindset you have in Nigeria here.
True.
All right, here everybody works, here everybody runs the family, here everybody helps. So back in Nigeria, maybe you might have a house help or have someone supporting you, your family,
or have the clear gender-based role kind of thing. Yeah.
And then if you bring that mindset here, it's not going to work because your wife leaves in the morning, you leave in the morning, everybody comes back in the evening, everybody's tired. Everybody will go into the kitchen. One person is cooking, the other person is doing the dishes, looking after the children. That's the only way it will work.
Yeah.
If you're not making that sacrifice, putting your resources and time together, you will definitely have deep misunderstanding. So that
great misunderstanding.
That communication and sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. Sacrifice your time. Sacrifice your money. Sacrifice your pleasure.
It's not, and it's no longer. Back in Nigeria, I used to hear, when the husband will say, his money is our money, but my money is my money.
Yes.
But I never had that mentality even before I got married, because I feel like what's the old bias about is money being our money and then my own money is not my own money. Like, what makes it your money?
Yeah.
So in terms of finances and marriage, I know it's a huge topic. We cannot, in fact, whatever we say right now is just the scratching. We are not even scratching the surface. But when it comes to couples and finances, I believe that it's one of the major issues here in Australia, because aside from communication, in fact, not being able to communicate properly, communication is number one, because if you don't have a proper communication, even finances, it's nothing. Exactly. So finances in marriage, I feel like it's like the top second reason why couples even separate here. True. In the diaspora, because it's either back in Nigeria, they were able to run things around the home with the husband not bearing so much of the burden of that finances, and the wife could actually, spend her own the way she wants to spend it. But in this country, especially now that the cost of living has gone over the roof, what do you think should be the core thing for couples when it comes to finances?
I'm not a financial person, but I have lived experience, I guess.
Yes.
The truth is that both income has to be pulled together to make it work.
Yes.
There is no my money. There is no your money. The bills that are being paid in this country, it's always a lot for one person. You have rental, you have mortgage, you have if you've got children, you have to put them in extracurricular activity, you have lights, you have electricity bill, water. The bills are just reoccurring.
That's so
it would
true.
be so selfish for one person to say, because you are the man of the house, so you have to do all the bills.
Or very selfish for the man to say, because I'm the man of the house, I cannot help with the rest of the things in the house.
Correct.
And yet you're not bringing the 100% money.
Even to the list of groceries, they're so expensive. A week, 150, 200. How would one person be able to foot all these bills?
And don't forget black tax. We've not even added that to the equation.
Exactly. So there's just a law that it will be so insensitive of one person to keep aside their own money, saying, "Oh, I can't contribute. It's your responsibility."
Yeah.
The only way it works is what do you get into? What do you get as your income? What do you get as your income? Bring it in together and we solve the problem.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop you from still doing your own personal thing. Like if you go out and see what you like, you have to just be reasonable.
It doesn't come to the point of control.
No.
Yeah, that line has to still be very clear.
Yeah.
So in order to buttress your point, I feel there is no, people will say in the developed world, marriage is 50-50. My own ideology is marriage is 100-100. You bring everything together to the table. There is, because I've asked someone, I said, when you say marriage is 50-50, for African men that come here that bring that adopt the Australian ideology of 50-50 or maybe diaspora ideology, they will say 50-50 is everything. You bring, if I pay 500 for the rent and the rent is 1,000, you pay the remaining 500, right? But when it comes to the home responsibility, they forget that same dynamics apply. My question is now, how do you now measure accurately the 50-50? Like, if I wash the plate today, I have to count the number of plates that I wash.
And hours you spend.
And hours I spend watching that plate. So that if the man is washing the plate tomorrow, it has to be the exact number of hours I spend. Hours will even be unfair because I can drag so it has to be. So is there a way there's no way you can accurately measure. So that's my own opinion. Do you think marriage 50-50 can work in marriage or not?
I don't think it's just equal. Like, bring everything you have, come with a sincere and open heart into the marriage. Everything you've got, be genuine. That's the key words. You understand? Yes. I earn $100. I will tell my husband, this is what I earn.
There's no corner.
There is no corner. There's no caution. There's no let me keep this one for my own safety. No. But before you do that, you have to be aware of the person you are
dealing with. That's where we are going to. So know the kind of person that you marry.
Exactly.
Maybe not marry our enemy in Jesus' name.
Amen. No magic. You understand? So if you're working with someone who is also genuine in that marriage and wants it to work, why not bring everything out and we all work it out together? Yeah. It's a benefit for both. Yes. There's no one having...
And because we are supposed to work towards a common goal.
That's correct.
And when we say common goal, it doesn't mean that the goal of just a family. When for me and my husband, let me just take it in this way, it's more like sitting down to say, this is the overall goal we want to achieve. This is the family. This is the individual. Mine, yours. And we don't see it as, it is your own goal. Go and work towards it. There should be a joint way of where do we fund this particular dream. It's going to come from our money. Of course. And where do we fund his dream? It's going to come from our money. So I think that it has to do with, like you said, know the person you're dealing with. And that way, genuineness, openness is going to save you people.
That's it.
So now, next question I want to ask is, I know that moving in the diaspora comes with its own challenges. Now, there's a particular one that I know a lot of, it holds migrant back a lot, but I've seen you cross that bridge and broke that hurdle, is the fact that they believe that unless that they are resident in the country, permanent resident, they cannot own the job of their dream.
That's true. I remember we had this conversation.
Exactly.
When people were saying, "Oh, migrants can never work in a bank, can never get a white collar job," we said, "We will break that hurdle.
We'll break that."
We will break
I know.
it.
I remember it was up in your in your living room in North Ride, where we sat down around the bar, and then we were saying that no, even if they will reject us 1 million times, we are not giving up.
We will not give up.
We will do it, and we will break that barrier. And look at us today.
Yeah. The main thing is get the right qualification. Put in up wherever you see, wherever your interest lies.
Yeah.
Put in your application there. Just be open-minded. And if you go in there, do your best. Don't stay at the same level you are for years. Continue to do your best.
Grow. Don't become too comfortable.
Exactly. Don't become too comfortable, or you feel like, oh, I'm entitled. That's the word.
Entitlement. That's another problem of our people.
Yeah, you feel entitled and like, this is it. I've landed, I've arrived. So don't feel because you are on visa or graduate work visa or whatever visa class you are in, you can still get that job, your dream job, whatever career you want to, you can still get it.
And please don't focus on your mind that when you read the old requirements, you think, oh, I have not even met 60%. But my dear, come on.
Yeah.
Put in the application.
Yeah.
Put it in.
Yes.
The worst you can hear is, unfortunately, we regret to inform you, but you have many of that. That's life.
Yeah.
But there will be one
that will take you.
That will give a chance on you. And if you make it worth the time, that's just the beginning.
And another thing also, just also be mindful that coming from a different cultural background is an advantage, not a disadvantage.
Yes.
So your selling point will be that you would bring that diversity into that work culture, because Australia as a whole is a multicultural environment.
Yeah.
So if you have that uniqueness, you speak 2-3 languages, so it's an advantage.
It is.
So you should use it as your key point or as a strength when you're going through that interview process, as well as the experience and the qualifications you've got. Just go there, girl. Go there, boy. Go there, man. You would get there.
Yeah. Okay, now let's move. We're still on career. I remember, when I was in school, I was just saying it this morning, the first corporate job I got was because my namesake saw the advert and thought about me. I said, Blessing, this would be a good fit for you. Apply for this role. What do you think about people hoarding information when they know that I believe that some of them have genuine reasons for doing it, because we know our people, sometimes we help ourselves and become the enemy for helping. And that's maybe the reason why some people feel like it's better I hold the information. But what do you think about, I know information is power. That has always been my dad's motto. That when you know something, there's a difference in how you work compared to when you don't have an idea of something. So what would you say to people that you think that they have the resources, the information to help other people, but they feel like, storytelling, right? But for waiting, and not be the same also, not be the same while you know how I suffered, that will now give you rope like that without you, or charge to give free information. What's your advice for them?
I think first of all, if you see your black or brown or whatever skin person in Australia, I think the best thing is to take them as your sisters and brothers, whether they like it or not. And it will be like you're hoarding information from your sisters and brothers when you can see opportunity for them to rise and grow.
Yeah.
If they grow tomorrow, they will still remember you. So
maybe even if they don't.
Yeah, even if they don't remember you.
Someone else that you did not even help.
Exactly. And somebody else will also do it for you, because that's the law of karma. You're right.
Or your children.
Or your children. So I don't think it's nice to hide information or hoard information from the person you think it will benefit from.
Yeah.
You can send that information, they might dismiss it, but just keep doing it, because I think the more we spread that information, the more we get more of our people in the workforce, and which would also reduce this idea of discrimination or racism or what have you. Because the more we have more people, then they will see us as every other person. You know?
And the more we have people to advocate for us, the more we have people to put in the good record for our. We're talking about friendship. I'm big on having your own small village or community. I do understand that coming into this country, leaving my own beloved family, coming into a new environment, totally, I wasn't even married. No, come in here and they isolate themselves a lot of time with the fear of not wanting to associate. Maybe because of, I know adult friendship are hard to make, let's be honest, because now our expectations are higher. We are not just finding people on the street to say, you're my friend though, I like him, or you run on the field with them. Being adult gives you more, like, you have so many considerations to think before you bring someone as part of your friend. Now, in the diaspora, making friendship is even worse as an adult. But having your own small community is key to survival.
Very important.
What would you, and I know you're a bigger, to have you anywhere you go, just like my friend Nikki Gold, that was anywhere she go, pew pew pew, she has gathered people. I might be quite, I'm not that type, I'm quite opposite in the sense that I get friends easily. That's the funniest part of it. But I'm so introverted that I can stay in my house for the whole length of a year. People will not even know that this girl lives in there, because my own will be church, school, whatever. How do you advise people that feel like, my husband is here, I just need my husband, I don't really need friends, and in fact I don't like female friendship, they always break heart. What is your suggestion for them in this diaspora?
My brother, my sister, in diaspora, like Leslie said, you can be easily isolated because it's all about your work, your school, home, and church. So that's the cycle. So if you don't break out from that cycle, you can be easily isolated. So what I would be saying is, if you don't have to pick everybody as your friends. You know, the very few ones that are meaningful to your growth and development. And I say friendship can be therapeutic. You get having people to come together, laugh, eat, have fun, marry, share your crying, your sad moments and joyful moments with them. So select those few people. They might not really be people from your culture. They can be people outside your culture.
Open mind.
Just have the open mind. You need to have some group of friends that you can always, you can't do it by yourself really. Because I know for me now, during school holiday, what would I do with the kids for 2 weeks?
Not here.
What am I going to do with the kids for 2 weeks? So those friends are the people you can anchor to, that can help you navigate this system, navigate the culture, navigate all the stresses, and also just to relieve tension. My brother, my sister, tension is too much. So somewhere to imagine us traveling here to come and visit Blessing.
And for you women especially, I know some, stop putting the overburden of extra friendship. Only your husband, only my husband, only my husband.
Not only your husband. Go outside.
Let him also have friends.
Go outside that scope. Have other friends and but just be careful of the friends you make.
That's also
because
very
I could remember, just to draw that one, when we came into Australia newly, someone called my husband and said, if you want to make money quickly, I'm going to anchor you. Just come and meet my clique of friends.
Oh, wow.
Is that what you want? No, definitely not. So just be mindful of the friends you make. Once you see the right friend, you just connect naturally and just go for it.
That's true. And I think the basic thing I drew out from your point is the fact that you should know your person. Self-evaluation of knowing what your values are will also help you in being able to find someone that actually aligned with that value. That's not a guarantee that those people might not break your heart or hurt you at some point, but then you move on. People will always be people, but that doesn't mean that everybody is like that. So you have to be open-minded. Find your community. You really, I cannot overemphasize the importance. There's really nothing like, I did it all by myself. I achieved it by myself. Even if you did, or you think you did, somebody that you did not know somewhere, whether at work, decided to like you and just help you. But you might not even know, but in your head, self-ego, you think that you achieved it all by yourself. You need people.
That's correct.
You need people. It's very essential. So, namesake, I don't want this video to be too long. If me and you decide to have this chat, oh Jesus,
it will not end.
It's not gonna end.
This is just the tip. We're coming back.
But we are going to come back. In fact, I'm going to have another one with my girls, but it's not today because I'm so sad I'm not able to do that with them today. But it's all good. We'll get to that point. So, my namesake, I just want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you. In fact, I had free Omugo service without paying for tickets of plane. Like, I've been relaxing for the past 4 days, and a special thank you to her, our hubby, and the kid. Like, it's been amazing. I don't know how I'm going to cope again in this short space of time.
Manage.
I will adjust, but it will take a while again. It's been amazing. It's always amazing when we come together. Like the last time I flew to Melbourne to surprise her, and she was like, no, Blessing, don't do this again, please. If you are coming, you have to tell me before you show up. But it was me and hubby's plan, and it's always no, but that's how we plan our plan. and leave her by this corner. But she's a wonderful soul. So, namesake, based on mental health, I know that's your area of specialization. Is there anything you think as African, probably something training that you think that you can, if there's a word of knowledge or advice that you can give to people in order to be aware of these things in terms of their personal life or their personal well-being?
I guess for us Africans, we usually dismiss and undermine mental health. We don't regard it. We don't believe in it. But it's real. It just comes drop by drop until it gets to a full-blown one that you can no longer manage. This isolation we are talking about, it's a key way to reduce that isolation, which might impact negatively on your mental health. So whatever you do to be able to be happy, take care of yourself, you do that. If it means you leaving one city to the other, do that. So far as it makes you happy, makes you feel, laugh. Laugh is a therapy. Laugh. Make good friends, eat good food, exercise, all those things that you know will help your mental and physical well-being improve. Just do that. It doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
You know, watch a Dogu Parara movie and laugh
And be happy.
You don't need to take any medication or all that. It just starts little by little, and once that depression starts kicking in, you're working back to back. You don't even have time to relax. How on earth would you function? You know, so
and being a new migrant in a new country can actually trigger mental health, especially in terms of anxiety and depression
and visa issues too.
And visa issues, especially because anxiety, I can tell that I'm not going to say I was diagnosed with anxiety, but everyone has anxiety at some point. But when you don't manage those situations and find other ways to actually cheer yourself up, it can become a full-blown mental health issue.
That's true.
That you will never even understood how you got there.
Yeah, that's why we say it just starts drop by drop.
Exactly.
And if you don't check it while it starts little by little, it will get to a fully blown one that you can no longer be about. But listen, I will just emphasize also with your visa issues and anything regarding your permanent residency. That's a huge one that makes a lot of people so sad. All right? Just make sure you're on the right. Seek advice from professionals. You know, make sure you do the right study. Make sure you have all your things in place and just apply. You will get.
Don't wait until the last minute before you consult a professional.
Don't.
Always, and the immigration website is always free, full of information.
That's true.
Full of information. I'm going to put the IMI website there on the screen. It is full of information that you can read whenever you're going to a migration agent. Anyway, we'll talk about that in another video. Just stay tuned. So subscribe. There's more coming for you.
Please subscribe to my namesake website
or channel.
Please subscribe to her. Hope to see you again. Have a good time. Thank you
so much. Bye. Oh, sorry. Before we go, can you tell them about one thing about parenting, especially for new moms?
Yeah.
On how to deal with the whole overwhelming situation. Just one word.
It's a long story, but just look at your baby's face.
Okay.
Keep going.
Be positive.
Yeah. Look at the joy, the bundle of joy you brought into the world. That's what will give you the motivation to keep going.
Exactly.
Do what you can. Have rest. Try to have rest. Eat good food. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this channel. Do not forget to subscribe. If you've enjoyed this video by any means, please leave a comment section. Let me know what you think about all the questions and the topics we've discussed today. The comment section is open for you all. Please let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what next you want me to talk about in our next video, because this is a new year, right? And I'm going to be bringing you more content. Yeah, it took me a while because postpartum is really partuming me. But we will get there. As you can see, the little bundle is right here, and it's been all joy, to be honest. So you guys, please, if there's nothing you remember in this video, 3 takeaways: God, supportive partner, and positive mindset. These 3 things go a long way in helping you to build and to, mold your life in any way. And if you're not thinking of supportive partner, you can remove that middle, God and positive mindset, and you'll be all good. See you in my next video. Love ya. Bye.